Today I give you my Week 2 college football picks. I'm Nathan Gustafson, and this is Clutch Time. Just to sort of let you guys know what I'm going to be doing in this episode, and every week, twice a week, once for college football, once for the NFL, I'm going to give you my matchup of the week, my stud of the week, my dud of the week, and then I'm going to pick 3 games. One of them is going to be an upset pick, one of them is going to be the game of the week, and one of them is going to be a game that I like against the point spread. And lastly, I'm going to end it with my story of the week, whatever I think the biggest story is in football that Saturday or Sunday. I'm going to let you know. And for this episode, we'll be doing Week 2 of college football. So I will jump right into it with my matchup of the week, which is Texas wide receiver Colin Johnson and LSU corner Christian Fulton. These two are both projected first-round picks. This is definitely a matchup to watch, and really a game to watch of the week. The 6th and 10th ranked teams in the country. To be honest, I would have both of them a little bit higher. I don't think there's any way LSU is any less than a top 4 team in the country outside of Georgia, Alabama, and Clemson. I don't think you could really build an argument that any other team is better than LSU. And Texas, like I said, I picked them to win the conference. This is a really good team with a stud quarterback and a stud wide receiver, and seeing those two, Colin Johnson and Christian Fulton, both projected first-round picks for this year in the NFL. These are 2 studs who are going to be matched up with each other the entire day. I expect LSU and Ed Orgeron to have Fulton following Johnson around. I think this is a great matchup to look out for. Stud of the week in college football at this point of the season is actually almost too easy because there's so many superior opponents playing crappy teams. I guess for stud of the week this week, I'll go with Jonathan Taylor. He draws an easy matchup with Central Michigan. This is a Heisman contender. I think he goes out and runs for over 200 yards, so I guess I'll pick him as my stud of the week. All right, my dud of the week, even though I really like him moving forward in the season, building off of my matchup of the week, it's Sam Ehlinger. I expect this LSU defense to come out ready to go. Grant Delpit, Rashard Lawrence, Christian Fulton. There's too many studs on this LSU defense. This is SEC recruiting at its finest. LSU has great defenses year in, year out, but to be honest, I think this is probably the best one they've had in a really long time, and that's with them losing Devin White and Greedy Williams. LSU is going to come out, and I think they're going to limit this high-powered Texas offense, and I think that Sam Ehlinger, as a result, will be my dud of the week. All right, my cover of the week, this is whatever game I like the most against the point spread in college football for a given week. That isn't my game of the week or an upset pick. This week it's Washington minus 13 against Cal. Cal, who struggled against UC Davis. It's not a good look for them. I think Washington and Jacob Eason, who proved in his first game that he can play quarterback at this level. He obviously sat behind Jake Fromm for the last couple of years before entering the transfer portal. He looks really, really good, and I expect Washington to win by north of 20 points. Minus 13 is fairly easy. I really like this game. For my upset of the week, even though they're only 1-point underdogs, I do like Stanford to go down to Southern California and beat USC this week. Look, if it was going to come down to quarterback play, USC had a chance before with JT Daniels, but with Daniels tearing his ACL, even if Costello doesn't play, if both teams have their backup quarterbacks, I'm going to take the better coached, better line of scrimmage team. Stanford's going to control the line on both sides of the football. David Shaw is a much better coach than Clay Helton. And Stanford is going to come out more prepared. They're going to win this football game by running the football down this weak USC front seven's throat and passing when they need to. I think this Mills kid, who was the #1 pocket passer in his class coming out of high school, I do think that Stanford goes down to Southern California and puts a beating on USC this week. It's hard for me to see that they're underdogs. I don't see why. This is an easy upset pick of the week. For my game of the week, I do like LSU to go into Austin and beat Texas. I know it's a home game for Texas, and that gives them a little bit of an advantage, but we've seen time and time again when the SEC plays the Big 12, they consistently put it on them, and I don't see anything changing here. The thing is, Texas relies heavily on putting points on the board because their defense isn't very good, and to put it simple, when teams who rely on scoring an immense amount of points go in and play SEC defenses, they're unable to put up the level of offense that they're used to, and as a result, they lose football games. That's exactly what's going to happen this weekend when Texas tries to take on this high-powered LSU defense. There's just too many good players on LSU's defense for Texas to win this football game. I like LSU to come in and win big, probably by 2 touchdowns. All right, now for my story of the week. This is about the Clemson Tigers. This is their one and only challenge this year. They're playing ACC turds the rest of the way, teams that can't hold their jockstrap. It's going to be a whole lot of blowouts for Clemson moving forward after this week. And I'm going to say, before the game ever starts, if Clemson loses this football game, they should not be in the playoff. It is going to be simply too easy for Clemson to go through their crap schedule and win every game the rest of the way. This is their one and only challenge this entire football season, and we'll see how they do. The spread's all the way at 17.5. I'm not sure I like A&M to win. I certainly like them to cover. Jimbo Fisher, since he came in, he's had 2 back-to-back really good recruiting classes. We saw how good Florida State was under him and how far they've dropped without him. He's a really good football coach. I expect him to have A&M ready to go in this football game. I think they're going to come out and compete. Now, while I think Clemson is going to win, I'm saying before it ever starts that if they lose this game, they should not be let into the playoff. Okay, they should not get a free pass into the playoff every year for beating a bunch of crap teams that they play in their schedule. This is their one and only challenge, and I think that all the lights are on this game for Clemson. And if they lose, I think that, personally, I don't have a vote. If I did, I would certainly hold it against them. If Clemson is a one-loss conference champion or someone else comes out of the Pac-12, or if an Ohio State or a Texas was a one-loss conference champion, even if I thought those other teams weren't as good as Clemson, I would give them a buy-in, simply because Clemson's route to get there is so easy. If they're unable to actually execute it, they deserve to have it held against them. And that's going to be it for us today. Thank you for watching. Tune in tomorrow where I do this exact same format, making picks for the week, but it'll be for week 1 of the NFL. Make sure you guys tune into that. Thanks for watching.